She is the co-host of America's Test Kitchen and Cook's Country, and today she is in our kitchen preparing a savory Dutch oven chicken pot pie that smells so good. Please welcome back to our home, Julia Collin Davison.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes. Thank
As you can see, our family's very excited about this.
Yes.
Orly, Ken, Allie have joined
That's
Cameron
right.
at the counter to eat this delicious pot pie. And, you know, listen, making your pot pie can sometimes take hours, and there are a lot of pots and pans, all kinds of things are going. But you say, listen, do not fear. You can do it in one Dutch oven and be done.
That's it. Yeah, it can be a real project, and you're pulling out all sorts of pots and pans because you have to make the sauce, you have to cook the meat and the vegetables, and you have to make the topping, which you have to do separately so it doesn't get all soggy. But yeah, you can just use one pot, the Dutch oven.
I love that, and you're going to show us how to do that today.
Yes.
So we have some things sautéing on the counter, on the stovetop right now. But before we get into all that, you were going to show us how to make your beautiful lattice pie crust. This isn't
So
just
cool.
a regular pie crust.
No, this is just puff pastry, which you can buy at the supermarket in the freezer section. You let it thaw on the counter. And then I have a parchment round under here. And you ever make a lattice crust?
Yes.
Okay, so you have strips going one way, and then you peel back every other, right?
It's
and
like
then you
you're-
lay it
you're
down.
weaving.
Yeah, you're weaving. And then when you go for the second one, you peel back the other one.
It's like a very expensive handbag that you may
Yeah.
have seen at the stores.
Oh, yes, yes.
The
and
Italian
that's
leather
it.
Bottega Veneta bag.
Oh,
Funny,
yes.
that's where your mind goes.
Yeah. It's a little cheaper than that.
She's already shopping.
Sure.
My Christmas shopping.
I wonder what you want for Christmas.
Oh boy, if somebody gets me that, they're very wealthy because it's very expensive. Okay, so listen.
All right, so there we have the crust. It's
Okay.
ready to go. And then we're
This
gonna.
is what's really clever. I've never ever seen this before.
Yes, I haven't seen this in any recipes. We really came up with this in the test kitchen because we really wanted to stick true to just using one pot. So we're going to use the lid. Watch this.
I
Yes.
was wondering what that parchment round was going to be
Yes,
for.
so you just slide this
With the
on
parchment
top.
paper.
Because if you put this on top of the stew and put it in the oven, the underside of the crust gets all soggy.
Right.
So this, we're almost treating it like a cookie sheet. And you can just put it right on top of the stew in
So
the oven.
smart.
So it gets all crisp. Isn't that cool? That's the coolest trick I know.
That is really smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, right?
Now the filling of
You
our
can also
delicious
do this
pot pie.
with biscuits. Like if you like a biscuit on your pot pie, you can just put the biscuits around the top.
So smart.
Yeah, it's fun. All right.
In the Dutch oven, we already have, what's that, leeks,
Leeks
carrots?
and carrots, yep. I love your story about leeks as the Greek gift for fertility.
Yeah, in Greek mythology, it was a gift to the gods for fertility. So the leek goes back like centuries and centuries and thousands of years really, and I feel like it's an underrated vegetable.
It is. Well, it has it's an onion family, right?
Yeah.
But it has a beautiful, fragrant, mild flavor.
Now, tomato paste, that's not usual.
No, and that's one of two ingredients we're going to add that have umami. You know what umami is? So you have 5 tastes in your mouth. You have sugar, salty, sweet, bitter, and umami, which is the meaty flavor. And so tomato paste adds umami.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then this is just chicken broth. We're going to add a little cream.
A little heavy cream.
A little heavy cream. And this is the second, I call them umami bombs. This is the second umami bomb, soy sauce.
Last time you were here, she added some
I do. I put it in every
ingredient at America's Test Kitchen.
it is. Well, you know what? It adds a little bit of saltiness. It adds a little bit of color, and it just adds that meaty flavor. So I put it in everything.
Wow.
All right, so we're going to bring this to a simmer. Oh, and bay leaves, of course. Bay leaves. You don't eat these.
No.
When it comes out, you have to go on bay leaf watch and pull them off.
That's true. So how long do we let that simmer?
So you let that simmer just for a few minutes until it gets nice and thick, and it'll look like this. Here's one that's
Because the flour
already
is going to bring it
thickened.
together like that.
That's it. And we're just going to add raw chicken. Now, this is chicken thighs, 2 pounds.
Okay, and
cut
chopped up.
Yep, cut up into nice
Not
1-inch
browning it ahead of
pieces.
time. Straight into the, so you save the whole step.
That's
key to
it,
the Dutch
right? It's the umami bombs that kind of replace the browning for the chicken.
Interesting.
Yeah, and all those chicken juices are going to go right into that filling.
Right.
And
So
make
then
it
we
taste
put
delicious.
this in the oven. Oh,
Yeah, watch
hold
this.
on. But first
So-
we've got to do this.
Oh,
Yes.
See?
Do you need me in the test kitchen?
yes, I do. Do you mind?
No, you just
Do you
let me
mind?
know. I would
Yeah.
have so much fun, honestly. It's one of my favorite things to do is feed people.
Yeah, if you put a little egg wash on this, it just gets nice and glossy on the other side.
And then the
little bit of
really
salt.
coarse sea salt.
I know.
So beautiful.
Sea salt is great for finishing because it has a little bit of crunch. So it's better than, say, table salt or even kosher salt.
It
Those
makes
nice
it feel
big
fancier
flakes.
when it's crunchy like
Kind
that,
of,
right?
because it's expensive too.
Exactly.
It is fancier. All right, so this lid goes right on upside down.
See, I don't know what to do.
Isn't that
So
cool? It's just a cool trick, man. Yes. All right, so this goes into a hot oven, 400 degrees for about half an hour.
Okay.
And then, after half an hour,
Oh my gosh. Can you look at that?
Just like that.
yeah,
That
Isn't that cool?
Is worthy of applause.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. But we're not quite finished yet.
No.
Our crust is.
That's right. Well, the thing about it, by putting the crust on and baking it separately, you can add all the vegetables that would normally die in the oven during that half-hour cooking time. So like peas, they would get army green. So we're going to add them now. Asparagus, because this is a spring vegetable pot pie.
These are not cooked.
These
No.
are not cooked.
You put these in after.
Yeah, you put them at the, oh, here's bay leaf, watch.
There you go. Get
There's
those guys
one.
out of
I'll
there.
put that over there. There's another one lurking in there. I like
in
to
there
think of it
somewhere.
like the king cake when you find the baby. It's your good luck. It's the same thing, your bay leaf.
There you go.
All right, a little bit of tarragon, which has that nice licorice
Yes.
flavor. Lemon juice and lemon zest, just to brighten things up so it's not so heavy.
How long do we let that come together?
Oh, it just needs to simmer for about 5 minutes till those
Okay.
vegetables are cooked.
On
the
stove top.
stove, yep. Here, I'm gonna put this down here so we don't mark the pretty board.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I like serving it because these Dutch ovens are so pretty and they're expensive.
Right.
So
True.
kind of when you can drop it on the table, it's
Right.
very cool. And you just drop that on top. I know, isn't that cool? I know, it's a
tell you,
little
that is
thing.
I mean,
impressive.
honestly,
I know.
I say it every time, but I'm so impressed with you.
Aw.
You have the coolest job in the world.
I do eat a lot.
Well, next time.
Oh, well, you got a pretty cool job, too. Now, let me ask you about America's Test Kitchen Kids.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Oh, it's so exciting. So we've been developing recipes for over 20 years for home cooks, and we just took all that focus and put it onto kids. So we're
Oh, my-
watching kids cook in the kitchen because kids need different instructions than adults. So we brought kids in the kitchen, and you have to tell them to wash their hands.
Oh, yeah.
You have to tell them, oh, this is funny. You have to tell them to turn the stove off because they'll just leave it on. And so we rewrote all of our recipes for kids. And I know
No, no, I was just gonna say, I don't know what
I
this
don't
is
know
about
why
me
I'm
either,
pointing.
Ken.
Well, but Coco has this book,
Yes.
and she is obsessed with, to the point that it's because an issue. Because she's marked things she wants to make. She's made like chicken sloppy joes.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah,
the
they're really
turkey
good.
burgers,
How old would you say?
8 to 12.
Oh, 8 to 12.
Well, Coco's only
12,
7, and Coco's
but
like
she's
full
advanced.
on.
Yeah.
But you know what? Get them cooking, get them chopping, get them using the stove because it's not only a life skill, but it gives a lot of confidence. My daughter, the first time she cooked, because she's my little sous chef, right? But I sat out the counter and she cooked. It was a different girl. The next day she took the dog for a walk on her own. She's like, oh, I can do this adult stuff.
wow.
You know, it was just a
Very
different,
true.
yeah.
100%. Alexandra's only 4. She just turned 4, and she loves it. Every Sunday we make pancakes or waffles. She
pancakes.
loves it.
But the
It's
other
so easy.
interesting thing, which I wasn't expecting, is that it helps with their reading. Like Coco will pull that cookbook out and read to find the recipes she wants, and there's a lot of verbiage.
Yep.
And then math, because it's like we're a family of 5, so we have to double the recipes for 4. So she's doing math, figuring out the recipes.
At
It's
7,
Yeah,
like,
it's full on
multiplying
STEM
fractions
or
and things.
STEAM.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's science, math,
That's good.
engineering, and arts because people they like to plate.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to
Oh,
spend
yay.
more time in the
Oh, so
kitchen.
nice to see you. Happy
Thank you, Collin.
holidays.